Before we get started, I want to thank you guys so much for the support you showed in my last FNAF video. I had a lot of fun writing that one that I had to come back with another. If you haven't already checked it out, the link will be in the description below. Before we get started, let's get some things out the way. This fictional film is not directly connected to the current movie universe. If something like this were to be done, it would be a spin-off. Secondly, just like my last FNAF video, certain events may or may not align with the video game universe. Okay, so with that out the way, let's get into it. The idea of FNAF on Tour is currently a series of cryptic videos that are released prior to Security Breach. I wanted to take the idea of the animatronics on tour in a different direction. The events of FNAF 2 take place in 1987 and eventually the restaurant closes and the toy animatronics are scrapped. But what if they weren't scrapped? In-game lore details Silver Parasol Games is the company responsible for creating the virtual experience around Fazbear Entertainment. But what if before they were a game company, Silver Parasol was an entertainment company and they bought out the scrapped toy animatronics and created a traveling circus type of attraction called Freddy and Friends on Tour. Freddy and Friends on Tour would travel all across the country putting on shows for the whole family to enjoy. Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie would be on stage performing. There would be carnival games for everyone to enjoy and even an interactive mango animatronic for the kids to take apart and put back together. This film, set in 1989, takes place in the small town of Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Act 1 is going to set up the backstory of Fazbear Entertainment and how this traveling act came to be. Daniel Radcliffe will play the ringleader of this attraction. He's someone who only cares about profit and will do whatever it takes to keep the show going. Our main characters will be a group of college students played by some great young actors that have been crushing it recently. Jason will be played by Cameron Monaghan, who has showcased his acting abilities not only on TV shows, but has shined in his role as Cal Kestis. Penelope, played by Jenna Ortega, is no stranger to horror movies, and with the messy collapse of the Scream franchise, this would be her chance to return to the genre. Haley, played by Yara Shahidi, who is very talented. Her energy and personality on Grownish is amazing. Sophie, played by Maya Hawke, who has built a lane of her own. Her talent and attention to detail has allowed her not to be stuck in her parents' shadows. Darren, played by Shameik Moore, who has become a big star due to his phenomenal performances as Miles Morales. The beginning of the movie, we see Jason's younger brother has an obsession with Freddy Fazbear and sees a commercial promoting the traveling act and notices Eureka Springs is an upcoming stop on the tour. Jason is too distracted with college work to pay attention, but he advises his younger brother not to be too obsessed due to the negative rumors surrounding Fazbear Entertainment. Their relationship has seemed to have shifted ever since Jason started college and spends his free time hanging out with his friends. Once Freddy and Friends arrives into town, his younger brother begs him to take him and they go that evening. Once they arrive at the carnival, it looks like the whole town decided to see what the buzz is about. Many families are seen enjoying the many Fazbear themed carnival games. Jason's younger brother is having the time of his life and runs off to enjoy the games, while Jason meets up with a few of his friends. After a few hours, the main show starts and everyone rushes to the main stage to see the main three. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica put on a show, and the crowd loves it. Once the show is over, the ringleader encourages everyone to pick up some Freddy's themed merchandise on their way out. But there's one problem. Jason's younger brother is nowhere to be found. Jason and his friends are frantically searching for him, the crowds of people making it difficult, and he is nowhere to be seen. They approach the ringleader and ask if he's seen him, but the ringleader responds in a sarcastic way by saying that all kids look alike to him. Jason doesn't like his response, and he throws a punch at his face. Nearby policemen are there and quickly arrest him. Once at the station, Jason and his parents are arguing with the police officers that there is no reason for them to be there while their son is missing. The officers assure them that they will do whatever it takes to find him. But in the meantime, Jason needs to stay away from the carnival while it's here for a few days, due to the ringleader threatening to issue a restraining order on him. Later that night, Jason and his friends decide to sneak into the carnival to try to find some clues on the disappearance. Upon arrival, the group decides to split up. Sophie decides to investigate the carousel. The carnival after hours is boarded up in a way to make sure no one gets in or out when it's not in operation. Sophie hears sounds coming from a nearby tent. Once inside the tent, she sees the Bonnie animatronic in a dormant state and thinks nothing of it, until it suddenly turns on and starts to approach her with its arms out. Sophie tries to run for the exit, but the ringleader is there to stop her. Sophie's screams are heard nearby and the group runs towards her. The ringleader quickly shuts off Bonnie and goes into hiding. The group discovers a paranoid Sophie on the ground, traumatized by what she just witnessed. The group decides to take her home while Jason decides to stay behind. He examines most of the attractions, but is starting to feel like his investigation is going nowhere, until he stumbles upon the ringleader's main office, which is located inside an RV. He notices a surveillance system with footage of the whole carnival. He starts to open desk drawers when he notices a pile of newspapers. He sees the newspapers all detailing the disappearances of children from different states. Jason's mind starts to wonder why these would be in his office, when he finally realizes these are all the states the traveling carnival has been to. As his sudden realization continues, he notices some movement on the security footage. He sees Chica coming towards him. The sounds of Chica approaching quickly vanish as sounds of police sirens are heard outside. Jason makes his way towards the door, but is met by a few officers outside, along with the ringleader, who has a devious expression. Jason tries to tell him about his discoveries that involve missing children and possessed animatronics, but the officers laugh it off and arrest him again. In Act 2, we see Jason is on house arrest. The officers don't seem to have any leads on the disappearance, and Sophie is still in a manic state and refuses to go anywhere near the carnival. The evening news reports the carnival's animatronics went missing, and every town the carnival stops at, the ringleader makes it seem like his animatronics are missing, but in reality, he lets them wander in order to kidnap children. The ringleader puts out a message to the town that the carnival is closed and he will be in town until the animatronics are found. By this time, the townspeople are fascinated by the lifelike animatronics, and everywhere you look, people have some sort of Fazbear merchandise with them. By this time, the animatronics have been silently kidnapping children. More reports have been filed. Penelope, Darren, and Haley devise a plan to follow the ringleader to see if there's anything directly connected to disappearances. They follow him around for a while, and nothing seems out of the ordinary until later that evening. Instead of sleeping in his RV, the ringleader heads towards an abandoned house. The ringleader goes through a side door that leads towards the basement, while the group sneaks through a window on the side. Once inside, they notice an interior that looks like it's been abandoned for years. They hear machinery sounds coming from the basement, and they hear faint music coming from upstairs. Darren decides to investigate the second floor, while Penelope and Haley head towards the basement. Once upstairs, Darren follows the music until he reaches a room, and to his surprise, he sees a room with a group of children watching Freddy and Chica put on a small performance. Jason's younger brother is not one of them. Their faces seem to be in a state of trance, as if the animatronics are hypnotizing them. Once Freddy and Chica notice Darren peeking through the door, Freddy stops his performance and he starts to approach him. Chica continues to keep the children occupied. Meanwhile, in the basement, the ringleader is nowhere to be found. Penelope and Haley investigate a room full of animatronic parts that seem to be used as storage. In the middle of the room sits a strange animatronic. Here sits an early version of the Ennard animatronic, but in a more polished state. His former clown outfit is on full display, opposite of what he looks like now. It's revealed that Ennard is the ringleader's prized creation and has been using remnants from missing children to keep Ennard alive. Haley and Penelope discover the truth and quickly make their way to the door, but the ringleader emerges and refuses to let him go. Meanwhile, upstairs, Darren does his best to avoid Freddy and makes his way to the children to set them free. He manages to free the children from their hypnotic state, and they make their way to the front door. The ringleader hears the commotion from the basement and frantically runs upstairs. Darren and the kids make their way out and make way to the town. While Penelope and Haley sneak their way through the side window, the ringleader starts to panic as if everything he was working towards was starting to crumble. He loads up Ennard and drives towards the carnival. Act 3 follows the ringleader being exposed for who he really is and what his intent really is. The people of Eureka Springs want nothing to do with the carnival and demand the police force to arrest him. Jason is starting to worry his brother may not be found, but now is determined to take matters in his own hands. As the officers make their way towards the carnival, Jason follows behind, determined to find his brother. Once the officers arrive at the carnival, they are met with an eerie silence, as if this place has been abandoned for years. They split up with their guns drawn, ready for anything. But to their surprise, Ennard is there, picking off the officers one by one. The nearby screams send paranoia to every remaining officer until there is only one left. Knowing something evil is lurking nearby, he runs for cover inside the main office. Thinking he's safe, he notices a security camera footage displaying the clown getting closer and closer until Ennard climbs in through the roof and dismembers the officer limb by limb. Jason, sneaking around the carnival, hears strange sounds from a nearby tent. Once inside, to his surprise, he finds his younger brother having a great time with Mangle. Mangle doesn't appear threatened from Jason and just cares about keeping his younger brother company. Jason is in shock but is relieved to have finally found him. The ringleader and Ennard confront Jason, but before Ennard can strike, Mangle lunges towards him and starts to damage him layer by layer. The ringleader orders Mangle to stand down, but Mangle lunges at him and bites off his arm. Police reinforcements arrive soon after and shoot Mangle down, thinking he's a threat. The ringleader gets taken to the hospital and later to prison. Jason and his brother return home and the carnival gets shut down permanently. The toy animatronics get auctioned off, and rumor has it their parts are now being used to retrofit other animatronics. Ennard is sent to an underground facility where he will be forgotten and withered. Freddy and Friends on Tour will be closed forever, but certain carnival games may be used for a future virtual experience. The knowledge of remnants will eventually be responsible for the creation of a few deadly and highly advanced animatronics. Thanks for watching.